What's going on, guys? My name is Richard, and welcome back to another Stock of the Week episode sponsored by Marketsmith. And this week, I wanted to talk about kind of one of my biggest mistakes of 2020, and that was to not capture this very, very strong rally in LVGO, which has been one of the top performers since the market bottomed. And this is a stock that I've been watching for a while and trying to find an entry setup. And I actually first talked about this stock with Jack on a previous episode of the Market Chat, and I'll actually link that episode above so you can see exactly what I was talking about at that time. But basically, we each picked 3 stocks that we'd be looking to buy once the market really confirmed the rally. And I picked LVGO, Dexcom, and AMD. And it was actually on this day that we shot that episode. LVGO had just peaked above this 31.82 pivot and had a couple of inside days. And the reason that I think it's good to talk about this is because I think I and hopefully you guys can learn from me missing out on this trade, because it's going to happen. There's going to be a bunch of big winners that you either get shaken out of or they just go on to the moon without you because you were too scared to enter. And for me, that's exactly what happened on this trade. And we'll actually head into TC2000 in just a second and talk about exactly what I was seeing and how I can learn from this mistake. But first, a little bit about LVGO's fundamentals. They develop digital health devices to monitor chronic health conditions, and recently they've been posting very strong earnings. And at the time, they had recently reported their December 31 earnings, and they were up 118%. Sales were up 137%. So exactly the type of stuff that I want to see in a recent IPO. And of course, it's in a very promising industry group at that time. The medical products were doing very well. So I was focusing in on the best stocks in the best groups. And this recent IPO caught my eye. And over here, you can see that the annual estimates say that it won't be profitable yet in 2020, but it would be profitable in 2021. And often that's the case with the promising IPOs. They're not yet profitable, but there is the promise of profitability in the future. The EPS rating is a 76, the Group RS is an A, the SMR rating is a C, the accumulation distribution rating is an A+, and the overall composite rating is a strong 99. Taking a look at the fund ownership real quick, you can see an excellent increasing trend. And at the time of first talking about this stock, I would have seen this great trend going from 0 to 193 funds investing in a very, very short amount of time. So that's kind of the fundamental side. And of course, at the end, we'll go through the actual website and talk about the products that they offer. But now I want to head into TC2000 and talk about how I missed this trade. So I've kind of used the time scale back feature in TC2000 to kind of go back to that day. So this is exactly what it was looking at before it really went on this tremendous run. And I had drawn this downward trend line right here, connecting these peaks, and also this horizontal line from this previous pivot at 31.82. So this is exactly what I saw when I was doing the Market Chat episode with Jack. And at that time of the Market Chat episode, I said that I would buy LVGO if it consolidated a little bit more and then start to move up and potentially form a green dot, which is one of my main setups that I use. But taking a look at the stochastic, you can see that's quite extended in my mind using the stochastic, and it would take quite a bit of consolidation for it to become oversold enough for the stochastic cross to occur. So honestly, looking back, that wasn't a good decision. Instead, the setup that I should have used is a break above this high at 34.20, because you can see it broke out on big volume, quite a bit larger than the average 50-day volume, and then it had 2 straight inside days. This is nice consolidation. And this kind of tells me, looking back, that I shouldn't have been so picky because this is a strong stock and definitely had the potential at that time to go on a huge run. And going forward just one day, you can see it would have met that entry criteria, a break above this high right here, a strong close, above average volume, everything that I look for in a setup. So why didn't I take this trade? Because I definitely saw this happen at the time. I think I was mostly focused on the green dot setup. I wasn't really thinking of a break over a prior high. And this is a little bit short of consolidation for me in terms of using this as a pivot. But I think what I should realize is that it was still within 5% of this base right here. And these two inside days really were a clue that this stock was under accumulation and I should have entered on this day. And moving forward, you can see that it approached this green line, had a green line breakout, a green dot right here, right before earnings, and had a great earnings report, up again 100+% in terms of earnings, and has since gone on a very strong run after that. And I am looking for an entry at this time. I think it's still a good stock, and the entry that I would use at this time is a break above this high at 63.55. So going to the entry that I should have had, it's up 82%. So this is a reason why you shouldn't be picky, and you should kind of play the cards that you're given in these strong stocks, because at the beginning of a new market rally after a huge correction, these stocks can go on and double, triple, just like LVGO did right here. So that's kind of my big takeaway from this. Don't be too picky. There's always reasons not to make a trade, but there's a ton of reasons why I should have made this trade. For instance, you see these big up days, huge volume coming in. These are patterns of institutions acquiring shares and really drying up that supply and setting the stage for this huge run. And really just since the market bottom on 320, this stock has been one of the best performers, up 170%. Honestly, I'm disappointed, but I think I can learn from this trade, and hopefully you can too. So now we've talked about the technicals and the setup that I'm looking to use from this point on. Let's now head over to the website and talk about what makes this company so great and what is that N in Can Slim. All right, so now we're on Livongo's website, and let's kind of go through a couple of the pages and talk about what makes this company special. So overall, they are a health management company from what I can gather. They basically specialize in health signals, monitoring chronic conditions, that type of thing. And going through, they have a bunch of patents, which does bode well for the future, so that's always good to see. And they also have a bunch of different programs. So basically, these are all kind of health monitoring things. They build devices, medical devices, to help with managing all those chronic illnesses. And interesting enough, I see that they actually partnered with Dexcom to include the Dexcom G6 I talked about in the previous video, to basically add that on to their health signals platform. So it's cool that they're kind of partnering with these other very successful companies in this space. So overall, they seem like they are well positioned to benefit from, unfortunately, the growing number of obese people with diabetes, high blood pressure, and they are in charge of kind of monitoring those illnesses and helping people manage them. So I think this company is well positioned, especially going forward. And given their chart and excellent fundamentals, I think this is a great stock to watch, especially given that earnings are out of the way and they were strong. And there will be another chance to get in. That's what I always have to remind myself. Even if I miss a very strong stock like Shopify or Nvidia right now, there's always another chance to get in once it forms another base and breaks out once again. So thanks so much for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed this video and learned a little bit. I've definitely realized that I need to be a little bit more lenient in my rules, my entry setups, when I see a potential big winner. So thanks so much for watching. Please leave a like down on the video and subscribe if you are new to the channel, and I'll see you guys in future videos.